Can y'all hear and see me? Let me make sure everything's on the up and up. Let me know if y'all can see and hear me in the chat. Looks like I'm starting to connect. Okay, hey you guys. Hey tea sippers. I hope you guys are doing good. Let me go ahead and make sure I have everything set up here. Chat, I got all my notes. Okay. Today was a long day in court. So I got all my chicken scratch, all my notes, my little stars, the things I want to hit on. So it has been a lot going on. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank y'all for joining me today. So let me say this before I get started, because somebody came in here. Yep, I'm still in New York, honey. When I tell you I have been meeting so many random New York tea sippers, I'm getting recognized out here almost as much as when I go to LA. Because I've just been walking around everywhere, just having fun, looking at stuff. And everybody who's come up to me has just been so wonderful. I was on the phone talking to, this little something, something. And so one of my tea sippers recognized my voice as they stopped me. And they're like, oh my God, T, I'm a tea sipper. I need a picture with you. And so the guy I'm on the phone with, he's like, did somebody just stop and ask you for your picture? Because he don't know who I am. He was like, who are you that people are stopping you? He's like, that's like the second person I've heard stop you. And I'm like, shit, I'm Batman. Okay, I'm Batman. I don't want him knowing I'm lovely too yet. You know what I mean? Like, we've met, but I don't, I don't want him knowing like everything I do. So y'all tea sippers are putting me on blast, okay? But no, today was a really good day. I'm tired. When I tell you I am tired, we got to get up to court super early. But before I get started, though, let me say this. Yes, honey, period. I be undercover with it. I guess people are saying that I'm famous. I don't know. Because I just be walking around just minding my black business, honey. But it's still weird to me that people like recognize me. And when I tell you, I am just so grateful and just so humble for the love, the hugs. And it's just been nothing but good energy. And I really, really appreciate that. Like some of y'all be trying to have a thug start breaking down, crying on the streets of New York. I'm like, I can't be out here crying. Okay? Y'all can't make no thug cry, honey. So I love it. I just really appreciate it. This has been good. I'm really glad I got a chance to come up here. But let me say this before I get into everything that's going on. Hopefully my internet, because my StreamYard is saying that there's a low connection. Hopefully it will pick up and do the right thing. But let me say this because I had a troll come in here before I started. And they were like, oh, you're hating on Armand. Let me make something very, very clear, because some of y'all are clearly not okay. Okay? There's no reason to hate on anybody. Like I always said, we all have our own tables. Armand is doing his thing. I've seen Armand every day. Well, I've only been there 2 days. I've seen him. It's been nothing but laughs and hugs. I've known Armand for years. He is the number one person covering the P. Diddy trial, okay? Nobody is stepping on Armand when it comes to that. There's room for everybody at the table. Not only is Armand there, Tisa's doing her thing. There's a young man named Donut there, Dennis Byron. It's so many of us who are there covering the case, and I love it. I love the fact that so many black YouTubers are there and they're covering this. I'm not trying to make this an everyday thing. I'm out here on the East Coast because guess what? My little nephew, he's about to turn 1 this weekend. And then my niece, she just graduated high school. So this is why I'm out here. So when Dennis found out I was coming to the East Coast, he was like, why don't you just come to New York during the week so you can see the Diddy trial? You've been talking about Diddy forever. You can't miss, you got to come at least one time. So that's why I'm here. I'm not here to be in competition with anybody. And I hate the fact that, some of y'all just like to start drama amongst black YouTubers. And it's not cool. Like, I don't know what time everybody's going live. I went live at the same time yesterday, which was 7 o'clock. Okay? Because I do want to get some sleep tonight. So everybody can do them and you can support everyone. If you want to watch him because he's live, please go watch him. He's doing his thing. My video will be here when he's done streaming. Then you can come back and watch me. If you want to watch me because I'm live, cool, watch me and then go watch him. But please do not come here bringing like drama, unnecessary mess. Like, I just hate the fact that people do that. And y'all always do that to black content creators. And it's not cool. Don't nobody got to sit here and hate on nobody. We're all supporting each other. It's been nothing but love, literally, in this courtroom. just having good conversations, getting to know Tisa, getting to know other people that I have never met before, and I'm getting to know them and their channels. So let's stop with that. Let's really stop with that. So I didn't like that, you know what I'm saying? Because we can support each other. There's no shade. We were all there. We're all taking the same notes. He's going to say it and put his spin on it. I'm going to talk and put my spin on it. Tisa's going to talk and put her spin on it. Dennis Byron's going to do his thing. So just let all of us do what it is we went down there to do, okay? So, again, I'm not going to be at this trial, until it ends. I'm literally in town for my family, but I said, okay, let me start off in New York, come check out the trial, check out how everything is, and then I'm going to get me a rental car and drive down to, Philly and Delaware. So that's my plan. So I don't like how people are trying to spin these narratives and, oh, you're only there because you want to be on TV. Are you okay? You must not be a real tea sipper, because if y'all know me, I am low-key shy. I'm not going to come in the room and be like, hey, I'm Lovely T, I don't do that. People have asked me to jump on their stream and wanted to interview me, and I shut it down. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to come for the Diddy trial and do my little live stream with my tea sippers. That's it. That's a yes. People are really weird. This person came in here and wrote a whole dissertation. I blocked her. Because I'm like, you're not going to come in here and start drama between me and another creator that I've been friends with for years. Like, you're not going to do that. You can kick rocks. So I just want y'all to support everybody, support everyone. You don't have to come and create drama where there's no drama. Okay, that's not my lane. Y'all have never heard me come on here and be like, I want to be on television. I want to show. I'm cool right where I'm at. I'm okay with that. So, everybody else has their own lane and what they want to do. And, God bless them. Whatever they have their heart set on doing, they're going to get that done. I'm cool right here. So let's not do that. Like, I just had to address that. I don't like when people try to pit other black creators against each other. And it's only in this, in this section of YouTube where you see that. White people can, how many white folks at the courthouse who got YouTube channels, who are there taking notes? I don't see y'all say nothing about me being jealous of Becky Sue or me being in competition with, Kenny, Smith. But y'all are steadily trying to put the black content creators against each other when it's been nothing but love up there. So please stop that. Thank you, Brandy. Brandy said that's not even your personality. Thank you. If you meet me in real life, I literally just be chilling. I've been stomping the streets of New York solo dolo, doing my thing, running into everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. I'm just very quiet. I'm down to earth. I have my fun. I pop off on my live. I pop off at my live events. But other than that, you're not even going to know I'm in the room. You know what I'm saying? I just, that's just me, honey. But today was crazy. Court was definitely crazy. It was a lot going on. So I do want to just come on here and just kind of tell you, you know what I'm saying? I didn't take all these fucking notes for nothing. Shit, pages upon pages of damn notes, front and back, okay? So we're going to go through these notes. Once again, I will not be mentioning Jane Doe's name, for her protection. We're not allowed to. They're also, watching people's live streams, and, they will be reporting back to the court. So I'm not saying Jane Doe's name for y'all who keep asking. But Jane Doe was back. I was hoping her whole testimony, today was day one of the cross-examination. I was hoping to be done all today, but there's going to be day 2 of her cross-examination, which will be tomorrow. But I think the who's the lawyer? Garagos. She did a really good job cross-examining her. First, they came in and they asked for a mistrial. And the judge basically said, no, we're moving forward. So one of the things that I took notes of here is that, let me see, that I did find interesting that we kind of talked about yesterday is that Diddy is paying for her lawyer currently. So the woman, the Jane Doe who's on the stand speaking out against Diddy, he's the one covering her lawyer fees. So that to me is very, very weird. It's very, very weird. I just don't get it. I would think if somebody put you through all that, I wouldn't want them to cover shit. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with them. So that didn't sit well with me. So let's start here. So basically, she took a break from Diddy. They were not dealing with each other for a while. And then her birthday came up in February, and all of a sudden, surprise, surprise to nobody, she decides to, start dealing with Diddy again. And I'm sure it's because she wanted nice gifts, some nice trinkets and, handbags. So she decided to go back to dealing with Diddy. And a month later, everything broke about the Cassie situation. So that's when she kind of found out, like, the depths of what was going on with Cassie and the whole lawsuit and everything else. So that was a month after her birthday. And that's when he became under investigation. Now, she currently has immunity. So I find that interesting that she has immunity, because whenever somebody goes in, Kelsey, and asks for immunity right away, it makes me feel like, what do you need immunity for? What were you involved in that you need to be immune from? Were you also bringing young girls? Were you playing a madam in this? Were you bringing other people to these freak-offs? Because again, why do you need immunity? Were you moving pink cocaine, ma'am? I'm just saying. They didn't say that, but I always question when people need immunity. Because innocent people don't need immunity. Innocent people just get up there and tell their story, right? Now, another thing she said is that she regrets a lot of the choices that she made, but she also feels like he led her to make a lot of those choices. She didn't want to do it, but she felt very much pressured. Again, she got with Diddy when she was 35 years old. So she did say that on the stand. She was 35 years old, meaning her frontal cortex is all the way developed, okay? Meaning that she's grown. Yes, there's a such thing as peer pressure. There's a such thing as grooming. But there's also a such thing as integrity. And can't nobody make you do what you don't want to do. Do you know how many people I'm around who drink like a fish, who smoke blunts like a chimney? And guess what? They can hand me a blunt. I don't smoke. That's not my thing. Because that's just, it's just something I don't do. I don't judge nobody. You know what I'm saying? You can get high as a kite. That's your business. But if that's something I don't do, that's something I don't do. So I don't understand how, as a grown adult, like, people just, you're just so pressured. You're pressured to take 4 dicks at one time. I'm sorry. There's not that much pressure in the world, okay? I'm not taking 4 big black dicks. I'm not risking UTIs and possible STIs for nobody. So I'm not, again, not trying to victim shame. I just find that interesting. There's all these regrets, but I was pressured. Okay, sis, if you say so. So then, let's see here. She also said that she's in therapy. She's getting therapy for everything she's gone through. Let's see here. She also admitted that she currently still loves the diddler. She still has a lot of love for him. She loved catering to him. She loved cuddling him. She also loved giving him foot massages. So, I'm a messy bitch. Let me go ahead and see what Diddy's feet look like. Has his feet been exposed on the internet? Let me Google Diddy's feet. Because she said she loved giving him foot massages. I said, well, damn. Ugh. Okay, here goes his feet. Oh, my gosh. Lord have mercy. Hold on. I'm messy. Oh, Lord. This is the feet that she's missing this right now. She's missing diddling on the diddler's foot. That is his feet. So she said she used to give him massages. Let me see what this is here. Oh, he put it on camera. Itchy, itchy, burny, burn. Ugh. Ah! He said that he has athlete's feet. Can y'all hear the audio? Because it's saying that the audio may not be playing. I'm so tired of StreamYard. He's saying that he has athlete's feet. They're itching and burning. Ugh. Itchy, burny, burn. Okay, the audio wasn't working. Let me go ahead and try it again, child. StreamYard ain't shit. I want y'all to listen to what he's saying. Let me pull it up here. He said he got athlete's feet. It's a little bit of itchy. So she said this is what she missed. She said this during court. She misses rubbing his feet. Ugh.
You know I've been locked in. It's a proud day today. I've been on my 3-day workouts, and I got athlete's foot. If you ain't got athlete's foot, you ain't locked in. Look at that pretty foot. You see that? Yeah. I'm gonna cure it though. Don't nobody get nervous. Yeah. It's okay. Just a little bit of itchy burn. Woo!
Oh, nasty stuff. Little bit of itchy burn. Keep them dogs away from me, honey. But she said it during court, honey. She said she missed rubbing on his feet. She loved catering to the diddler. So something told me he would have feet pictures on the internet. I wasn't expecting that, but he got a whole foot video. So yeah, she's the one who took care of his feet. So while they're itchy and burny, she was the one who probably attended to that. She also said she really enjoyed giving him not only foot rubs, but she bathed him. Okay? I said, what in the Zamunda is going on here? Is this coming to America? Royal bathers. Chop, chop. So she said she loved bathing the diddler. So she's still in love with him. She bathed him. She rubbed his feet. You know what I'm saying? She did a lot. And then she said that he used to take Xanax to fall asleep. So, after she got done bathing him and rubbing his feet, he would pop a Xanny. And I guess maybe she probably pat him on the ass and, put him to sleep too, child. I don't know. But he can't sleep without Xanax. So that was put out there. She said that she thought she was special and it was only her that he was doing all these things with. Okay? So she thought, the more she rubbed his feet and sucked his peen and, gave him baths and everything else, that he was going to make her the number one. She found out otherwise. Okay? So she also stated that she would break into his phone. That basically the diddler, he's an older man. Sometimes, when you're older, they have simple codes. They don't have, when you're older, you forget shit. You ain't got no time to be doing no complex codes on your phone. So the diddler just has a simple code, and she broke into his phone. So she said when he would be falling asleep from, popping the Xanny, she'd basically be in his phone, like, just nosy as fuck, bitch. Just reading all the messages, screenshotting messages, reading what bitches he's talking to. So, again, these are people who have money, but they still behave like regular people, okay? Regular, dusty, dudes are out here getting their phones hacked and everything else by their side chicks. And so is Diddy. What a coincidence. What a coinkydink. He went through the same damn thing, okay? So I just find that really funny. So now on top of that, she also said this. She loved making love to Diddy afterwards. Even though she was ran through by a lot of, guys that he would invite. After they ran through her coochie and they left, she loved that alone time that she would get with Diddy. So imagine getting rammed through by, just big, 10-inch peens. And then your solace is this bisexual demon. Okay, girl. Somebody said the password said, take that. So let me unbutton this jacket, Chad. I feel like I'm still in court. Let me loosen up a bit. So, the Punisher, whoever she was smashing, so after she would do the do, she felt like that was her alone time. She loved making love to the diddler after she got ran through because she felt like, she had to do all that. She had to, get ran through for her to get her solo time with the diddler. He never, from what it seemed like to me, he never smashed her first and then passed her off. It was always the opposite. But she said that she enjoyed making love to him. Let's see here. She also says that he had a very demanding life. He was working on the Love album, the past few years. She would join him in the studio, and she was basically with him during the times of 2021 to 2023. She also said that she felt like she was the only person who knew what he liked sexually. and then it was funny because the cross-examiner, Garrigo, said to her, when you were with Diddy and you guys were like, let's say they were like in Turks and Caicos, and so Diddy would bring out, lingerie. And so sometimes Diddy would pick lingerie that he would want her to wear, or she could go into the closet and pull, the lingerie that she would want to wear. And so the lawyer was like, did you like dressing sexy for Diddy? And she was like, no, I was sexy for Diddy. Like, she made that known. It wasn't just like, yeah, I dressed sexy for him. She was letting the court know, no, I'm that bitch. I was sexy from head to toe. Like, don't get it twisted. I was that girl. Okay, I look damn good in this lingerie. And then Diddy would want her to wear 6 to 7 inch heels, which to me is crazy. Them are stripper heels. Because, she said that she's used to wearing high heels because I guess she modeled. Now, initially, because I didn't see her walk in initially. And, she says she's used to wearing like 3 to 4 inch heels. But for Diddy, she would wear 6 to 8 inch heels. And then she kept screaming, models. I'm thinking she's like, 5'10". She gets out the damn seat. I'm like, what the hell? She itty bitty as hell. And she on heels in the courtroom, but she's a little lady. She's not that big. So I'm like, bitch, everybody's a model. What you modeling, sis? You ain't ripping the runway. You not Kamora Lee Simmons ripping the runway Milan. Everybody's a model, child. Wonder what she was modeling. But yeah, so she'd be in her lingerie. She wanted everybody in the courtroom to know that she was sexy for Diddy. She wore 7 to 8 inch heels. Anything for the diddler, child. Then she goes on to say, okay, he allowed her to choose. Let's see, I took a lot of notes. I got this one starred. We're going to hit on this. I got this starred. See that star? The baby oil. So the baby oil came up. And so, they said, well, why did he have all this baby oil? What is that baby oil about? And so basically she said that the baby oil turned him on. The same thing Cassie said. Baby oil turns him on. He would do ecstasy and they would have a bunch of fantasy talk. Okay, I guess while rubbing baby oil on each other, I don't know. But he really liked baby oil because, like Cassie said, he likes the shine. He likes the gloss. Queens, they like, shiny shit. So he loved the baby oil. He was very much into the fantasy talk. He loves like just fantasy, porn talk, sexual talk, things like that. He's big on that. Let's see here. They did a lot of X together. Diddy would offer her X and she was expected to take it. So again, that was like one of her regrets, getting into drugs. But again, you have to have some type of integrity. If you don't do drugs, you don't do drugs. Like, again, I don't judge anybody. If y'all want to smoke blunts and, smoke out of a crack pipe, that's your grown business. But if you offer me a crack pipe, I'm going to tell you I don't smoke crack. And if I'm telling you I don't smoke crack, you can't get mad. So if he offered her ecstasy, are you not able to say no? So again, these women are willing to throw their morals out the window to keep the diddler. She said before she met him, she wasn't doing X. But when she got with him, he would offer her X and she was expected to take it. And again, we know what that's about because people who roll, I know people back in the day who did ecstasy. They called it rolling back in my day. That was like in the early 2000s. Everybody used to roll, not me, but a lot of my friends. And you want to fuck all night. If you ever had sex with somebody on ecstasy, they can go like the damn Energizer Bunny. Sorry, too much info. I'm just saying. They can go. That's why they would be on X. See, this young generation, y'all used to perks. Y'all like that limp perk dick. Back in the day, it was by ecstasy. Ecstasy, people would am I lying? Come on, 2000s. Put a teacup if y'all remember that ecstasy peen. See, these new kids, they're used to that perky yerky dick. They don't even get up. Okay, see the teacups. Okay, all right. Am I lying? Back in the 2000s, it was called rolling. So a lot of dudes back in the day, okay, y'all see them teacups? They used to roll, and that's why they rolled. Because it would keep them hard all night long. I'm just saying. Thank you. Look, Dina said, T, you not lying. Clock that. Clock it. They don't know nothing about that. They know about that perk dick. So you rolling on the river. Y'all are a mess. So to y'all who are wondering why he's like taking all this ecstasy, that's why. Because when dudes roll on X, they be rolling and rolling and rolling on a river, bitch. Okay? So, you know, from what I've heard. Damn, I missed the 99s in the 2000s. Girl, you working with some ass, yeah. You bad, yeah, making niggas spend his cash, yeah. Let me stop. Okay, we having too much fun. So, anyways, so she would pop an X. He would pop an X. And that would make her, you know, again, because when you're rolling, you want to fuck all night. So that was the main reason why he would keep them on X. So, she could take all that, take 3, 4, 5, you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, be black dicks. So, you know what I mean? He kept her up on the, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sesame Street. So now, she also went on to say that he liked to role play a lot. Okay? The Diddler is a role player, which we're not shocked. Ain't this the same loser that went around pretending that he was the Joker? Remember when he was the Joker for Halloween and was trying to like pop off on that one celebrity and was trying to go off on him? So I'm not surprised at all. He ran around acting like he was the Joker. And then one year he tried to be Batman and Warner Brothers tried to sue him. So I'm not shocked about his role playing. She says that basically his favorite role playing was cheating role playing. So Diddy is a porn addict. Y'all know them damn titles on Pornhub. Lonely housewife is bent over and the plumber happens to walk in and just bang her from the back. That's Diddler. So he likes to like role play that she's cheating. And one of the things that he liked her to talk fantasy talk about cheating with other entertainers. So she'd have to talk to the Diddler about, oh, Daddy Diddler. Oh my gosh, I had a dream that I was sleeping with Mace. She didn't say that. That's just me coming off the top of my head, honey. Y'all know I love me some. Shout out to Mace. She didn't say that in the courtroom. I'm just, giving y'all an example. She'd have to tell the Diddler about people that, that she was fantasizing about in the industry. So she might be like, hey, Daddy Diddler. Man, oh my gosh. Oh, Redman just hit this coochie from the back. And he would get off on that. He loved listening to her talk about other guys in the industry that she was fantasizing about. So that was like one of the rules. And again, it could be anybody. It could be, Keanu Reeves, Will Smith. I don't know. I'm just pulling, names out my hat. She didn't name anybody on the stand. This is my own imagination, okay? I'm putting myself in her shoes for a change, okay? So yeah, the Diddler he's a freak. He's very imaginative. But he didn't want her, daydreaming about Bojangles. He didn't want her daydreaming about the Bojangles fry cook. We're not having that. Okay, we're high class here. We're not dreaming about the fry cook. We're not fantasizing about the plumber. We're not fantasizing about the guy at the bodega. I need you to fantasize about Will Smith giving you big black dick. Okay? We need those fantasies. And I'm thinking that he wants her to give him these fantasies of these male entertainers because maybe he has a low-key, some crush on some of these people. Because, why can't I fantasize about the fry cook? He might be, 9 inches hard. Who's to say? I'm just saying, okay? You don't know. Some of them dudes that be at them little stands selling hot dogs, they be cute. I'm not allowed to fantasize about the hot dog seller? Why not? Come on, Diddler. But anyways, he wanted her to only fantasize about entertainers, okay? So then, I was taking notes. She went on to say that, here, she lived on the East Coast and he was living in Florida. Then she moved to LA in June and he paid most of her moving expenses, okay? So he paid her moving expenses. The reason why she lived on the East Coast, now this is where I kind of was like, ooh, y'all are kind of spilling a bit too much tea. But again, this is what was said in the court records, so I'm not exposing anything. Yeah, I got a notebook with notes. Okay, I took notes. I went to buy me a little notebook because them little sticky notes. So she said that she lived on the East Coast to be near her child's father, but the child's father basically, wasn't being a real father. He wasn't doing what he needed to do. So she got frustrated and she felt like, well, why am I still being out here on the East Coast? He's not even coming to see the child any damn way. So she felt like, she wanted to move back to the West Coast. So at that point, Diddy was like, you know what? Great. I will help you move to the West Coast. But when she lived on the East Coast, she was living in an apartment. Okay. So then they asked her, well, how many times did you see Diddy? Did you see him every week? Did you guys have these freak offs every single week? And she said, no, it just really depended. Sometimes, like let's say in the month of February, maybe she might see him every week. But then other months, she might go every other week and see him every few weeks. It would just depend, and especially in the beginning, she probably saw him more. And closer to the end of the relationship, she probably saw him less. But it wasn't like, every single week. It just really would depend on his schedule and other stuff like that. And then, let's see here. Okay. So when she told the diddler, she said that she didn't want to do the hotel nights. Because at this point, she's starting to regret it. She's feeling used. She's feeling like the only time you call me is for me to come to you at the hotel and call 1-800-BIG-BLACK-DICKS. Okay? And then, the big black dicks arrive. And then, I get sent back to LA. So after a while, she's getting tired of it. She's getting UTIs and whatever else. So she's telling the diddler, I don't want to do this anymore. And then at that point, because remember, he moved her out to LA. And he also spent $20,000 to furnish her home. And so when they asked her, they said, well, what kind of home did you get in LA? She got like a 4-bedroom home, like a really nice home. And she said the reason why she wanted a big home is that she wanted Diddy to be comfortable when he came to LA. Basically, Diddy's home in Miami is a huge mansion. I know he has homes in New York. They're big. So she felt like if the diddler comes to visit her, she wants him to have the same expectations when he comes to LA to come stay with her. She doesn't want him going from a mansion to the projects. So he bought her a brand new home. Okay, I don't know if it was built from the ground up, but it was brand new. Because I took notes about the home. He paid $20,000 on the down payment. $20,000, I think, for first month's rent, last month's rent. Because they were renting the home. It wasn't bought outright. But he gave her like at least a good, I want to say maybe $60,000 total, including the $20,000 for furniture. And I'm assuming this is a pretty big 4-bedroom home. It's in LA. It's brand new. But $20,000 for furniture is crazy. Girl, I would have furnished your house for less. It would have looked nice. Y'all done see my house. It would have looked nice. And then I would have kept the change. Okay? But okay, sis. $20,000 on furniture. Diddy got it like that. He went and got a really, really high-end, I guess, Italian furniture. So then, like I said, when she would tell the diddler, hey, I don't want to get fucked anymore by strange men, he would basically threaten her by saying, okay, well, if you don't want to give up the cat to, there was Johnny and Liam and Donnie and Sam, then I'm not going to pay your rent. And then you and your child can find somewhere else to live. So basically, she's saying that he was holding the rent over her head. Like if she was not willing to engage in all of this stuff. Thank you, Camille. She says T's house looks very upscale. Thank you. Built from the ground up, child. So if she was not willing to participate, that was the threat to her, to her existence, because the mortgage was $10,000 a month, and that's not including utilities and everything else. So he always held that over her head. Let's see here. She said that they broke up and they made up many times. He has a larger-than-life personality, and that's what fascinated her about him. He also introduced her to gospel music. He has a deep connection to God. And they would have really deep conversations. Again, you can't serve two masters. You can't be sitting up here talking about, what's that? Just singing gospel music. Never would have made it. Never would have made it. And then the next day you're getting fucked by 4 strangers. Like it just doesn't pan out. Like I don't want to hear all this God talk and y'all singing, gospel music. And then, come Saturday y'all are sinning, but then y'all are in church Sunday. Like stop. Never would have made it. I'm just saying, okay? So then then they asked her, well, what do you do? Do you have, like, besides modeling at, 5'3", what else do you do, ma'am? What do you do for a living? So at that point, she says, she's an Instagram influencer. She gets paid to, post. She makes anywhere from between $20,000 to $50,000, a month posting for companies. She also has a salon line, and she also has a dress line as well. And I'm thinking to myself, I ain't never heard of this line, and I've been knowing you for years, ma'am, but okay. But she says she has a dress line and a salon line. Okay. So then they asked her, well, who funded this line for you? Like, did Diddy support your line? And she said that Diddy gave her $20,000 to start the dress line for her. And she says that it's still selling. Now, I don't want to be messy and check because, I'm not going to, I'm saying we're not going to do that. But I'm going to check for my own edification after this live. But she says that her dress line is still selling. And then my thing is this, if you're making $50,000 a month by posting on Instagram for companies, why did you need Diddy to give you $20,000 to invest in your dress line? The math ain't mathing. Because again, if you're making $50,000 a month from doing Instagram, and a lot of these, big influencers, the real pretty ones who are willing to show off every orifice, they do get paid pretty good money on Instagram. But why couldn't that money pay for your rent? Or am I not allowed to think that? Because I'm saying if you're on Instagram, you're a big Instagram influencer, you have millions of followers, all these brands are throwing money at you. Why would you care if he said, well, I'm not going to pay your rent if you don't keep getting fucked in the ass by Tommy and Sammy and David and Lenham? Wouldn't you just be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm making $50,000 a month on Instagram. And I don't have to keep getting, smashed by strangers. Let me just do my Instagram thing and try and get my soul back reconnected into my body. You get what I'm saying? So something like, the math ain't mathing. Because if you're making all this money as an influencer, why do you need to still be selling ass? Because that's what you're doing via Diddy, But yeah, people are greedy. You guys are definitely right about that. It could be greed. But again, how much money do you need? That's a lot of money per month. $50,000. You got people who don't make that in a year. That's a lot of money per month. So it seems like somebody's living above their means. Guess what? You don't have to be in a $5 million mansion. You can get a really dope house for under $500,000. It ain't like she got 15 kids. It's just, one child. I'm just saying. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. So then, let's see here. She also made it known. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the baby daddy. Then they asked her, okay, well, your baby's father, is he paying any child support? Were you getting any help from your baby's father? He was paying $7,500 a month in child support. And it's almost like the way she said it, not trying to take offense, but the way she said it was like, yeah, it was only $7,500 a month. I'm like, damn, bitch, only? Shit. I almost said, where's my little tiny gavel? Damn, it's somewhere. I'm gonna use this damn, got my brush. Objection! I wanted to say that in court. What the fuck you mean only? He only gave me 75 shit. I know a lot of folks who can do something with $7,500 a month. Okay? So on top of the $50K from Instagram, she's getting $7,500 a month. And you still need the $10,000 from the diddler? Okay, sis. Let's continue. Let's see here. Then she says that she likes to talk to successful men who can protect and provide. And I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I respect it, you know. And that's how, you know, again, a lot of women of other races are raised like that. They're raised to go after successful men who can provide and protect. You know, meanwhile, you know, black women are told to settle and they should just be happy to have a man. Hell no. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Go after those successful men who know how to protect and provide. Because that's what these other girls is doing. Okay? She let it be known. She only talks to successful men who can provide. I ain't mad at her. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay? Then she said that, let's see here. Oh yeah, she was very quiet about the freak-offs. Okay? She didn't want security or his employees knowing about their freaky nights. So she definitely went out of her way to make sure that he was not like bragging or talking to people about it. Because I know she knew deep down inside this was shameful what she was doing. She wasn't proud about what she was doing and she wanted it kept very, very hush-hush. She did not even want the security to know anything. Like they went about it a really, really secretive way. So she let that be known. Let's see here. So we got front and back notes, child. Okay, she lived in an apartment. I talked about that. 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, this was crazy. In March of 2023, Diddy left her a voicemail because they were playing voicemails in the courthouse. So Diddy left her a voicemail and basically he was wanting her, you know, she was getting ready to fly back home to LA. So they had just got done doing a freaky section in, I believe, Turk and Caicos. So Diddy left her a voicemail and he called her a crack pipe. He was like, I'm going to do Diddy's voice. Yo, ma. Yo. Last night was wild, ma. Oh, my God. Yo, you my crack pipe, ma. I'm about to start calling you my CP. You my crack pipe. I'm like, what in the fucking crack pipe is going on here? Like, are we... Y'all smoking crack? Like, what? When did crack pipe become a cute name? That was his pet name for her. Crack pipe. So then they asked her, like, why did he call you a crack pipe? That's interesting. And she was like, because the sex was so good. I'm assuming he called me crack pipe because he was addicted to the sex. Okay, sis. That's not cute. I'm sorry. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If you got some good poom poom, there's better words you can use. Like, don't call me your crack pipe. Child, no. I don't compare my coochie to no fucking crack pipe. I could see if you was like, oh my God, your sex is like a drug. You keep me high. That coochie's good. You know, something. You know, but do not call me your crack pipe. Like, that's not, what? And he was just so, oh my God, like, yo, you my crack pipe. You my CP, ma. Like, oh my, you my crack pipe. I was like, okay, Diddy. So, but it's very interesting that he said that because she felt like he was addicted to her sex. But I noticed she didn't say that he was addicted to how she treated him. He was addicted to the back rubs, to, you know, her treating him like a king, her bathing him, her rubbing his feet. He was addicted to my sex. So he's not even acknowledging the other things that you do for him, sis. Just the crack pipe coochie. Okay. That's what he called it. I heard it. Voicemail. Then, now this was very odd. And this is what makes me give Diddy the side eye. He has an obsession with other celebrities, women that are tied to other celebrities. We know he's obsessed with anybody who's fucked with Tupac. Remember, Chance's mama, what's her name, Sarah Chapman? Tupac used to mess with her back in the day. Kim was obsessed with Tupac, okay? Kim Porter. And I heard that they had some type of thing. But, and then Misa, remember Misa messed with Suge Knight at one point. Anyhow, one of the things that he would say to her when they would be doing these freak offs is fuck or die trying. Clock it. Everybody started, when I tell you the whole courtroom was like, everybody grabbed their pen and was writing. That's what he would say to her. He'd be, fuck or die trying. Fuck or die trying. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up, guys. Yo, Jamarian, if I'm lying, I'm flying. That's what they said in court. He would shout out while he was fuck or die trying. So what the? I said, what in the crack pipe is going on here? I'm just reading y'all what the hell I wrote in court, okay? I was shooketh. I said, this man is insane. That's some nasty work right there. Because I'm sorry, if I'm messing with somebody, you're not going to remind me of somebody else. Like, that's weird to me. Okay? That's very crackish. I don't want to be reminded of my ex or whoever. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want to be reminded at all. So I just thought that was weird. He has an obsession with a lot of people in the industry. It's very strange. Let's see here. Okay, so then they play her voice note. And it's like her laughing at the crack pipe. And, you know, they're kind of like asking. They're like, okay, well, you know, you're laughing at the crack pipe. And that's when she talks about, oh, it's because he's addicted to her sex. And she thought it was funny. And then she says that, let's see here. She loved being under him. And that she had so much fun in Turks and Caicos. So whatever went down in Turks and Caicos, they both really loved it. Like her voicemail to him, she was very much in love. And oh my gosh, I had such a wonderful time. And you know, I love you so much. And I'm so grateful that, you know, we went out there and we had this wonderful weekend. And, you know, I just love being under you. Like she was very flattered by the voice message that she got from the diddler. You know, so she was responding back with like a lot of love and a lot of appreciation, which to me is weird because, you know, I'm going to assume that there were freak offs taking place while they were in Turks and Caicos as well. So then, let's see here. So where she lives in LA is 25 minutes away from his mansion. So when he got her the brand new 4-bathroom home, I already talked about that. He paid first month, last month's rent, and then the deposit. He wanted it close to her. So he didn't want her like in the valley and then he was in, you know, whatever, in a whole nother part of LA. He wanted her close enough so that way, you know, when he's ready to do freak offs or when he needs her to come by and do whatever, she's right there. He's able to access her. So he made it where she was close enough. So I thought that was interesting because he kind of did the same thing with Cassie. Like when Cassie had her apartment, it wasn't too far from where Diddy was staying. So let's see here. So she also said here that she would throw shots at a lot of the other women. And she also said that she's not Cassie. Like when they would get into it about her rent, like when he would act funny about paying her, she would say, I'm not Cassie. I'll make your life a living hell. So she would like kind of, you know, send threats towards him. Like, you know, Cassie might be quiet. She may not blast you, but, you know, remember, I'm not Cassie. So she would always say that to him. And then he eventually sent her $20K for the new furniture. The thing that bothered her a lot is the fact that her relationship was on the down low. And so they asked her, they said, flat out, with your relationship being on the down low and him being public with other women, how did that make you feel? And she said that she used to talk bad about the other women. She'd call them, she's like, I used to say a lot of words that I just don't say now and I don't feel comfortable repeating. Girl, if you don't repeat these damn words. She basically called them hoes and bitches and, talk really down on those other women. So then, she basically said this. See here. She went down to Miami for a baby shower and they ended up staying at a hotel for 5 days. And so while she was in the hotel for 5 days, he's bringing these men in and out the hotel. And so while this is happening, she's seeing him on podcasts. She's seeing him out and about publicly with Caresha. And Caresha, Young Miami's name is mentioned in the courtroom. And so she admits on the stand that she was jealous of Caresha's relationship with Diddy. She said that it made her mad because of how visible he was with Caresha, how he always hid her, but was public with Caresha. She got with Diddy 6 months before Diddy started claiming Caresha publicly. So she was there before Caresha. So she definitely felt the way like, hold on. You met me 6 months before. I'm taking all this random dick. I'm being flued out to take random dick. I'm taking random dick at your house. I'm taking random dick at my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting dick down 24/7. And I don't even know if Caresha's doing half the stuff I'm doing. But yet and still, you're public with her. You're at the BET Awards with her. You're talking publicly about having sex with her for 48 hours straight. She's at the BET Awards holding up go poppy signs. So she really felt the way. Because she's giving him, she's running his bath water, giving him baths. She's rubbing on them dusty, crusty feet. She's risking, all types of STIs. And meanwhile, he's claiming Caresha publicly. She's not getting claimed publicly. No matter what she's doing behind the scenes, she's not getting that public acknowledgement. So it's burning her up inside. And she's admitting it. You got to respect it. At least she's honest. So then she goes on to say that they got into it one time. And basically, she told him that she did not sign up to date a man. She did not sign up to date a man who was in a public relationship with somebody else. She said, you want to keep saying that you're single and you have other women. She said, I was okay being the background woman. I was okay being behind the scenes. But now that you've gone publicly with Caresha, I'm not okay with that. Because she should be behind the scenes as well. Why are you going down the red carpet with her? Why are you doing podcasts with her on Revolt TV? Meanwhile, I've been here before her putting in work. And she was also jealous of Gina Hun as well. Gina Hun's name came up during the trial. So she did not like that. There was also another lady named Jessie. I don't know who Jessie is, but he was dating another woman named Jessie. And so she was also bothered by the fact that Gina and Caresha had this public spat. So people knew about the two of them. He was seen with Jessie. Again, they just said her first name. I don't know who Jessie was. I'm trying to see if y'all know. But obviously he might have been seen with Jessie as well because she was mad about that. And then she was also upset because he showered Caresha publicly when he gave her a Maybach for her birthday, I guess. So she was very upset. She called him and basically went off. Like, how dare you give her a brand new car for her birthday? Like, on my birthday, you took me to Turks and Caicos and I got, fucked in the ass. I'm just allegedly, I don't know. And, she gets a Maybach publicly. So at that point, Diddy was like, you know what, you're right. So Diddy ended up getting her like jewelry and a bunch of, expensive gifts to kind of, shut her up. So he shut her up for the time being. So now, I don't know who the Jessie was. Somebody says, Jessie May? Let me Google, child. Thank you, Elite Leo. Look at them Leos putting in work, child. Let's Google. Let's find out who this Jessie is, child. Let me see. Jessie May. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Diddy definitely has a thing. Okay. We found Jessie May. Oh, she made her account private. Well, the internet found her. So this is Jessie May, y'all. Thank you, Elite Leo. Let me pull this up for y'all. Because I know who Jessie May was. But she was jealous of Jessie May. So this is Jessie May. So this was from 2022. Diddy sparks dating rumors with fashion designer Jessie May. Ooh, hold on. This tab, sorry. After accidentally capturing her on Instagram Live. Oh, was that the girl who ran through his live? Okay, I remember this. She tried to duck out the way. I remember this. That's her. And he was with his mama. Okay, I remember that. Okay. And then he tried to play it off.
You saw that?
I got a phone call too, actually.
I'm on.
Okay, I remember. Okay, so that's Jessie May. Okay. Let me see if I can find another picture of her. Let's see. Here goes a TikTok of her. He definitely has a type. So that's Jessie
you said
May.
we're leaving? Okay. Let me just do my hair real quick. Okay.
Okay. All right, with the 32-inch bust down, silky straight. All right, Jessie May. We see you, sis. So that's Jessie May. Thank y'all, because I didn't know who the hell she was. The lady that was there with him was Janice Combs. So that's who was there with him. So let me go ahead and finish reading my notes here. Let's see. So now, yeah, so she felt away. So now there was another man, because she kind of felt like, you know what? You're out here publicly with Caresha. You know, Jessie May's being spotted in your live stream. You're out here, you know, Gina Hunt is claiming you. So she decides to start, you know, kind of giving attention to another man. And the man's name was a man named Bear. And so she said that Bear gave her $9,000. So it seems like she's coming across a lot of money. You know, 50 grand on Instagram. Baby daddy's child support is $7,500. Diddy's giving you 10 grand for rent. And then now some random guy named Bear gave her $9,000. And so Diddy found out about Bear giving her money, and he was pissed. He was livid. She said he was jealous. He did not want his woman with Bear, and he did not want her getting money from other men. He wanted to be the only person supplying her with money. Okay? So I don't know who Bear is, but that's the name that they used in the court. Then she said that because the cross-examiner Garagos asked her, you know, what kind of drugs he took and the quantity. She said that she didn't know initially that he was, you know, doing, you know, drugs and stuff, but you know, he does X and other things, but she doesn't know the quantity of the drugs that he takes. But she said that she encouraged Diddy to work out. She wanted him to be healthy. She didn't want him to like just keep, you know, being a damn, you know, perk head, whatever the hell he was using. She didn't want him to keep doing drugs. She wanted him to get healthy. She wanted him to drink tea. She wanted him to go to rehab. And instead he took ecstasy literally every day. Now, she also spoke about the red lights. I highlighted this. So she said that basically he would have red lights all around his home, and he used them during their freak offs as well. So remember, I've talked about those red lights forever. Those red lights have a very symbolic meaning. And again, a lot of the sexual stuff that was going on with Diddy, these were rituals. So a lot of these were rituals under the red lights. So she confirmed that even during the freak-offs with her, red lights were used. Okay? let's see here. Then, okay, so after about a year and a half of constantly going through these freak offs with Diddy, these freak nights, they would call them, in 2002, she started researching. She said that she wanted to do a deep dive on what this relationship was about and why he got off on seeing her getting fucked by other men. So she ended up researching the word cuckold. And she said that cuckold, from what she researched, it is a man who enjoys or who fantasizes about his girlfriend or wife, his significant other, being, smashed by other men. That is a fantasy of cuckolds. They enjoy, because she said initially she just thought that he was voyeuristic. Yes, she did this research in 2022. Not 2002. I'm sorry if I said 2002. 2022. Y'all know what the hell I damn meant. 2022 is when she did this deep dive into, cuckold behavior, because she said initially she thought it was just voyeurism, but the way that he wanted it more and more, and the way that he would like take semen, the other men's semen, and rub it on him and do all this ritualistic stuff, it was strange to her. So that's when she ran across the word cuckold. And she did a deep dive. And she said that one thing that she also found out while deep diving the cuckold world is that a lot of men who are bi-curious but are too ashamed of themselves to just straight out get with men, they'll use their women as a buffer so that way they don't appear gay. Clock that T. Clock it. Okay. To me, he's gay. He's bisexual at the very least. I don't think he needed her to be a buffer. I think he's been messing with men in the industry. But that from what she researched, that's what they're saying about a lot of these cuckolds, is that they use their women to be a buffer because they're really into the men. He's really into watching these men and looking at their, their genitalia and how they perform. He's more into that than being into what she has to bring to the table. So I thought that was very, very interesting. So now, let's see. Another thing that she noticed is that along with the fantasy talk, he loved foreplay, and that his fantasy talk could go on for hours. He would literally call her and sit on the phone and just talk to her and just want to hear her talk to him freaky for hours. I'm like, bro, you ain't got no job? Like, who just got time to just be sitting on the phone with somebody for 2, 3, 4 hours just talking about some freaky deaky shit? Every day, damn near? Then she goes on to say, a man named Don, the first time around, they asked him to use a condom. So he was one of the few guys that did use a condom. But after a while, it was just like condoms for the most part were just obsolete. I don't really think he liked it condom sex. He liked it these men to enter in her raw. But Don was one of the first ones, or, he preferred to use condoms. But I don't think he continued throughout. Now, in between this, because I'm sitting right behind Christian Combs, so Christian, Justin, Janice, and Diddy's sister, they're sitting right in front of me. So, as I'm taking notes, I'm also kind of watching them because I'm just like, I'm an empathetic person, I can crack jokes and be funny, but I'm still, I'm a mother at the end of the day. And I'm just thinking to myself as I'm listening to this, I feel bad for these boys, and grown men. Let me not say boys, they're grown men, because they're having to hear all of this. They're having to hear what their father's into. And, I'm noticing Justin is putting on his glasses at certain, shades. And, I don't think he's crying or nothing like that. But you can tell at certain points he was getting uncomfortable. So he's putting on his sunglasses and kind of, putting his head down. Janice would take off her glasses and put them on. After a while, Christian, he put his head on his auntie's shoulders. So the auntie's right here, and Christian, like a little boy, just laid his head on her shoulders for a while. So I could kind of tell that some of the testimony was kind of getting to them. So, I kind of, I felt bad. But again, their father is putting them in that position, unfortunately. But they've been coming every day, but it's kind of sad, I mean, I wouldn't want to hear, my father's exploits like that in a courtroom. So, I just, giving them a little bit of grace and a little bit of empathy. It's very shameful. No, Quincy wasn't there. I haven't seen Quincy. Just the two boys, his biologicals were there. So like, I mean, his head was on his auntie's shoulder for like a good maybe 10 minutes. And then, he kind of lifted his head up and I noticed his shiny Rolex. I was like, okay, we see the bling bling. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see that, to see them having to sit and listen to all that. So I did make sure, I noted that, because I was just kind of taking notes of everything I was witnessing. So, yeah, Justin putting his glasses on and off. Let's see here. So now, there was a thing too with her. There were several sex workers because he would have her call the company. I think it's called I forgot. I wrote the company's name down. Something Angels and Cowboys. Some ghetto Cowboys for. Okay, here it is. Cowboys for Angels. That was one of the companies that he, would go to find some of these sex workers, these male sex workers. And so she was saying that sometimes it would make for bad filming because some of the sex workers that would come, she wouldn't be attracted to them or she wouldn't get a vibe from them. And I think initially she was just taking it, right? Initially she's wanting to please Diddy, so it didn't matter if the sex worker had one good eye, and the other one wandered all around the room. If he had a hook peen. I don't know. It seemed like she was willing at first. But after a while, as the years went on, she was like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking him. I'm not vibing with him. He's unattractive. His peen looks like it's leaning to the, like it looks like little Fizz's peen. I don't know. But she was objecting. Y'all know little Fizz's peen I'm sorry, that has scarred me for life. I ain't never seen no peen like that. Yuck. Ew! So anyways, after a while she would, I guess she got some standards about herself and she'd be like, yeah, I'm not feeling this sex worker. His peen looks like a mushroom tip. That bitch is leaning to the side. I don't want him inside of me. So she started becoming more picky. But one thing I was noticing, because she was saying, there was an Italian man. There was an Italian sex worker. She wasn't really feeling him. There's another white one. She wasn't feeling him. There was no chemistry. So I didn't hear her say anything about the black sex workers. So it seems to me that maybe she's more attracted to black men. I mean, are we shocked? No. But it seemed like she kind of turned down some of the... Because I think Diddy wanted to see her be, smashed by many different races. As long as your peen is, 10 inches, I don't care if you're white, Spanish, or black, right? That's how Diddy's thinking. But for her, it seems like maybe she liked more black peen or, was more attracted to the black ones because she said she dismissed an Italian sex worker and she also dismissed some unattractive ones that she felt no chemistry with. So I think at that point she was kind of putting her foot down. She's like, I'm not fucking Mr. Mushroom Tip. He needs to go. Okay, I'm following y'all. So then let me see here. So after she dismissed the Italian sex worker, they sent some new ones to the Trump Hotel. So she slept with them. She slept with him, and then Diddy dismissed him after, and then he complained because it seemed like she was more into the black guys. So he was kind of feeling away. Like, you supposed to be here taking, 10 inches, from this rainbow selection. And it seems like you're only liking the big black peen. I didn't hire you to only like big black peen. You're supposed to just like big peen in general. So he kind of felt away. But they ended up, smashing and going to sleep. She also said that Diddy paid for her veneers because she needed her teeth done, so he paid for her veneers. She did not like using cocaine. but she did like using ecstasy. Then they went on to talk about Diddy's assistant, KK, Christian Korm, I think that's her name. I've talked about her in previous videos. She is Diddy's right-hand woman. She's the one who knows where all the bones are buried. But what I found very interesting is that she said that she didn't really like KK. She felt like KK had a strong influence on Sean because she called Diddy Sean. And that basically KK could come in between her and Sean at any time. So she wasn't really feeling KK, and that she went out her way to make sure that KK did not know the extent of what she was doing with Diddy. And maybe KK knew, because maybe Diddy told her, but she said that she did not want KK knowing anything about what she was doing. So I thought that was very interesting. Somebody said Diddy is all inclusive. Y'all are a mess. Yes, he is, honey. He wanted the rainbow selection. So now this is what's crazy. So now Diddy had a nickname for her, him, and their favorite sex workers. Diddy called them the trifecta. And so they asked her, well, what does that mean? She said she wasn't really sure, but she knows that tri means three. So their name was when they all got together, they were the trifecta. And then what he would do is that he would then compare themselves to sports stars. So she said that Diddy gave her the name Kobe Bryant. Again, this obsession that he has with other men in the industry is weird. So when they would get together, when they're getting ready to, I guess, do their threesomes, he would say, we're the trifecta. You're Kobe Bryant, Jane Doe. The sex worker, he would be Shaq. So whatever sex worker is their favorite, he was Shaq. And then Diddy was Michael Jordan. You can't make this shit up. I was in court writing this shit down like, what in the world? This can't be life. He called himself Michael Jordan. He was the Michael Jordan of the trifecta. She was Kobe Bryant, and the sex worker was Shaquille O'Neal. What in the world is going on here? You can't make this up. I said, what in the basketball hell is going on here? Diddy's a mess, y'all. That man is a mess. Okay, we're at the end of my notes here. Okay. Her talking about KK not knowing anything, then we went to lunch, child. So it was a very interesting day. It was a lot going on, y'all. So I'm so glad we have a lot of people in here. Thank y'all for joining me. So that is the extent of my notes. This man was a freak. He was a super freak. Hell, she was a freak too, okay? Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. Oh, court was crazy. It really was. Okay, Potent Pondering Sim 199 says, happy you're here, T. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Mandarin 91 cent $2 says 2 lives back to back. We eating good. Hey. Thank you so much, sis. Appreciate you. Isaiah Video says I wanted to stop by but didn't want to sneak up unannounced. Isaiah from the Discord. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see here. Creator page sent $2. Thank you for the super sticker. Potent Pondering says, oh, I think you're talking to one of the trolls. Do you see her regular numbers don't play? Thank you. You know, people love to troll, child. It's all good. Like I said, there's enough room for everybody here to stream, to talk about, you know, the trial. We all are going to bring our own energy, our own flair. You know, Armand is funny. He's doing his thing. You know, I'm funny. I'm doing my thing. So, again, watch everybody who's talking about the Diddy trial. Support all of the black content creators. You know what I'm saying? Please support everybody because it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. She gotta get up early. You taking all these. Now I ain't written this much since damn IT school. Shit. Right now, this degenerate shit in my notebook. Let's see here. Anastasia sent 5 says T going live back to back. This has made my whole week. Love you, T. I love you too, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support, sis. Baby G sent 4.99 says this is Anna from the Discord. I think you should be the people's appointed news anchor because none of the real news outlets are reporting the raw facts. Thank you so much. Yeah, like you really get more tea when you are in the courtroom because a lot of the deviancy, the news is not reporting all that stuff. They're not reporting about the trifecta and the fact that he was calling himself MJ while, you know what I'm saying, slinging peen to sex workers and everything else. So you're going to get the real tea from the folks who are in the courthouse. So I'm glad y'all are liking the reporting. Thank you for the super chat, sis. Let's see here. Kendall the long way says he got athlete's feet. He got athlete's foot from Gina's old dirty carpet. Thank you for the super chat. DJ sent $5 says Sierra's new song is Ecstasy. I haven't heard it yet. I'm going to have to check it out. So thank you for the super chat, love. Marvelous Miss Avengers of Alejandra sent $2 says finally caught alive. I had my baby 2 months ago. That's awesome. Congratulations to you and thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Benevolent sent $9.99 says good evening T, looking beautiful girl. I feel like Diddy's downfall came when he started hanging out with Young Miami. Some young females are loud and always want to be seen, and that made others jealous. Clock it. I think you're right. Because like we said yesterday, there was a lot of low-key jealousy too coming from Cassie's end. You know? He's out here living his best life and, you know, getting a chance to redo over his image via Young Miami and the new generation. So she was definitely feeling away. Jane Doe definitely felt away and she admitted it. She admitted to, you know, the jealousy. And then, you know, Caresha was doing too much online. Look how Gina Hunn came out the woodwork and was arguing with her, you know. So, yeah, I definitely agree, sis. Stacy sent $4.99 says, what is this? 500 subtracted 450 said to the male child, your mama is over here with Diddy. Look at your mama. I'm over here with Diddy. I don't even know what that means. Honeymoon sent $4.99 says, love you T. You got me hollering. Crack pipe. That's not sexy. What the hell? Top-notch reporting. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, it had me shook it. I'm like, what in the cocaine hell is going on here? You're my crack pipe, yo. Man, you're my crack pipe. I'm going to just start calling you crack pipe. You my CP. I was like, what in the world? It was just so weird to like listen to his voicemails. It was insane listening to them. Let's see here. Shannon Waiter says, crack pipe, Cobley jacked up Jordan. Thank you for the super chat. Autumn sent $4.99 says, what the crack pipe is going on here? Stacy says, Caresha, where are you? T is talking about her. Autumn says, them UTIs and STIs made her silent and not public. Britt sent a $4.99 sticker. Thank you so much, Britt. Hey, Miss Muchilla. Miss Muchilla sent $20. Says, hey, I'm glad to see you're covering the Diddy case. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. I know you out here in NY representing. Thank you so much, sis. Yazelle sent 5. Says, hey, T, I was just watching your last live from yesterday. Sending you good vibes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. HFG sent $4.99. They said, I appreciate your coverage of this trial more than you can imagine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Benevolence sent $4.99 says, no one has mentioned anything about H. I guess that all these women that he's involved with have it. Oh, I don't know, child. I wouldn't be surprised though. I would not be surprised. Licious32 says the Diddler's role play reminds me of Vince McMahon with naming novelty toys after wrestlers during his sexapades in the lawsuit. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these guys, it's like the more money they have, the weirder they are. Because, after a while, when you have so much money, it's not about the sex, it's not about the money, it's about the power. It's about getting people to do things that they normally would not do for the average man. Because most of these women would not have done a fraction of what they done with Diddy if this was just your average Joe working a 9 to 5, making $30,000, $40,000 a year. So that's where a lot of that, that power dynamic comes in, because they know they have the fame, they have the power, they have the influence, and a lot of people want that proximity to that. So that's why Vince McMahon, he's another deviant. So thank you for pointing that out. Let's see here. Sparkly Harus in 499 says, hi T, thanks for covering this. Also, you look really good. That brown lip is eating. Makeup tutorial when? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, love. Let's see here. Burweezy sent $9.99 says, I missed half the live, but I appreciate all your hard work. No problem. Definitely just catch the replay. So thank you for the super chat. Shireen sent $1.99 from Miami, says, just wanted to say you look gorgeous. Thank you so much, Shireen. I appreciate you, sis. Miss AB sent $5, says, glad you're covering the trial. Enjoy your stay here in NYC. Looking great as always. Thanks for the inside court scoop. XOXO. Thank you, and thank you for checking on me while I've been here. I appreciate you. So thank you so much. Lisa Love sent 5, said, give this to Sydney for holding the umbrella for you this morning. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Lay Love sent $10, says, I've always looked forward to your lives. They always help me whenever I'm feeling like I'm sunken in depression, and I need it today. Today's my 27th birthday and I'm a bit down. Well, thank you for the super chat, and I want to wish you a happy birthday, and I'm sorry that you're down. You know what I'm saying? But I hope and I pray that this live stream cheered you up, and, all of these people here, who are bringing good energy and conversation. I hope that that's helped. We've all been there. Y'all know I've gone, hell, not even gone, still be going through, my ups and downs with depression and, all that type of stuff. So, the best thing I can say is to just take everything one day at a time, and just surround yourself with like loving, caring people. That's the main thing that's helped me, over like the past few months that I've been going through it. So I just wish you a happy birthday, and I just pray that things get better for you. So thank you so much for reaching out. But yeah, man, this has been a wonderful stream. I don't want to be on here too long. I just wanted to come and do the court case update, with y'all, all my notes and stuff like that. Oh, y'all are so sweet. I love the fact that y'all are just showing her love and adding her name. Thank you, guys. See, I have just the best fandom. I swear, the best, hell, not even fans, family. My T-sippers are family. I love y'all. Y'all always just really try to uplift each other and show each other love. And, I really, really appreciate that. That's why I always say, I refuse to allow people to troll and cause chaos and dissension. That's why I don't feed into none of that nonsense. I'm all about positivity and good energy. You know what I'm saying? So when you come here, I don't care how you feel. When you leave my stream, you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to be in a lot more positive space. You know what I'm saying? So I give you all my energy, So thank y'all. Let me see here. G. Owen sent $2. He sent a sticker. Thank you so much, love. Jen sent $2, says T. Spending mucho love. I appreciate your hard work. Thank you so much. This has been a wonderful stream. Is there anything else y'all want to hit on? Because, child, I'm going to go lay down. I'm tired. I don't want to be on here too much longer. It's been an hour and a half. I've been up for a long time. And I want to get one last walk in, because everybody was getting on me. Because, child, I'm used to walking around at night in my neighborhood. So I'm like, shit, let me go ahead and walk around Yes, I was outside walking around late at night in New York City. I don't care. I like walking. Like I'm a walker. And there's a lot of homeless people and trash bags. I said, what the hell? New York just be having trash bags everywhere. And I was so scared a rat was going to jump out this morning when I was going to the courthouse. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just walk to the courthouse because I like to walk. I'm a walker. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and walk to the courthouse. Bitch, I get around the corner and a rat runs across the street. I was like, Uber, I'm not playing with y'all's rats. I'm not. Okay, I'm not playing with y'all's rats. I was like, Uber, come get me. Uber was there in 2 minutes. I'm on the corner of this street. Just pick me up. Yeah, New York and their rats. So I didn't get far. So I just ended up kind of, I was like, let me just walk around the block. But it was like trash everywhere. I guess they bring all the trash out at night. And I was scared there was going to be rats. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead. I just, spun the block and, I was cool with that. Yeah, so I want to get one last walk in before it gets too late. Wait, Keith says the rats don't bother nobody, child. They're big. It just all I saw was just something big just run across the street. I said, oh my gosh. I heard and caught the Uber. I was like, I'm not walking another step. I stood right there on the corner. It was like, Uber! And everybody was like, I thought you was walking to the courthouse. I said, shit, I saw the rat. Shit, I jumped right up in that Uber. Absolutely not. That's the one thing about New York. I do not do rats, mice. I don't do none of that. Somebody says, they said their heart drops every time they see a rat. Yeah, y'all must see rats here a lot. Because everybody be saying that. They be seeing them in the subway and everything else. No, I'm gonna stay another day. Cause my play cousin, he lives out here. He want to see me. I know it's a few people in the Discord talking about wanting to do some type of meetup, child. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to plan it and tell me where I need to go. So there's a few people that want to meet up with me that I'm trying to get it in before I do head out. You know what I'm saying? Cause then I have to make my way down to Delaware and then Philly. But so I don't know yet. I haven't, I don't know when I'm gonna leave the East Coast yet. Cause there's some people, cause I'm gonna definitely stop off and see people in Delaware and Philly as well. And I got tea sippers everywhere. Yeah, and I will pull up. Like, I'm here. Come see me. I got to hit up a few of my OG tea sippers. Cause I remember I did my first meet and greet. Shout out to everybody who came to my first meet and greet that I ever did in life. It was in New York City. I did it at Manhattan Barbecue in Manhattan. It was 10 of us. Yeah, about 10 to 12 of us. We was deep. It was like Donald, Caroline. It was a bunch of us. We had such a good time. We had a good time. So I kind of low-key want to meet with my originals. And then I got like one of my really good tea sippers. She used to live in the Bronx. I think she moved to Jersey though. She's not in the Bronx no more. But I remember, one day she just had me in the Bronx. We was in the Bronx just chilling and walking around and shit. People were like, T, what are you doing in the Bronx? Shit, I'm looking around. I just be all over, child. But I do want to stop by Harlem. I do want to get out to Harlem. But I got to jump on the subway to do that. I just been so tired. I need to jump on the subway and kind of travel around. But I just been chilling right now in Manhattan. But I do want to make it out to Harlem. And I met quite a few really cool people from Brooklyn. I met a lot of Brooklyn people. Like, Brooklyn's in the house. Big up y'all. Like, y'all Brooklyn people. I love the accents. Oh, yo, T. It's Brooklyn, baby. I'm like, okay, Brooklyn in the house. There's some fine little songs from Brooklyn. Okay. I've been running to a lot of Brooklyn people around here. A lot. But yeah, like I said, I just, walk around, have a good time, stay prayed up. But yeah, it's been a lot of really good energy. I know there's supposed to be, I've been hearing about this, the Trump birthday, it's not a parade, protest. They're supposed to be doing it on the 14th. So I know they're going to be doing it in New York. LA's preparing, Minneapolis. So I'm just like, ooh, it's going to be interesting. But they said it's about 60 cities that are doing the Trump protest or something like that. So it's like I don't really want to get too caught up in that at all. Yeah, on the 14th. So, and I know I don't know if I'll still be, out this way or out there by Delaware. I'm gonna see. Have I ever been to Queens? No, I've never been to Queens. I want to go. That's where my favorite movie, Coming to America, was filmed. Queens. Where should we go? Heads, Brooklyn, Tails, Queens, or whatever they said. I don't know, but they went to Queens. That movie's a classic. Yeah, I've never been to Queens. Yeah, it's been a lot going on. It has. It's been a lot going on. Okay, it's called the No Kings Day. Okay, that's what it's called. It's called the No Kings Day march or, protest. But that's going on all over the country. All over. Queens has the best food. Okay. The food out here has been okay. I haven't been too impressed with the food out here. The random trucks, the food at the courthouse. I haven't really been impressed with the food out here. Maybe I haven't gone to the right restaurants. I'm like, maybe I need to go to Brooklyn or something. I haven't been impressed with the food out here. That's why I kind of want to go to Harlem, because I've eaten in Harlem and their food was good. But I haven't found like any like really good food out here. It's been like, Like I went to this Chinese, I think it was Chinese restaurant. They were nice. They were very nice, but their fried rice didn't taste like nothing. It wasn't flavored. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Somebody said Brooklyn got good food. I did get a slice of pizza today. So I did eat a slice of pizza. It was alright. I've had better. It was alright though. But the pizza has gone up. I remember the last time I was in New York, you get a slice for $1. That shit was $3.50. I said, well, damn, what in the hell? What in the inflation is going on here? You could get pizza for $1 last time I was here. It was $3.50. And it was not all that. It was a cheese pizza. And I think the last time I got pizza out here, it was in the Bronx. And it was fire. And it was $1. It was in the Bronx. Yeah, I always hear about Sylvia's. I've never eaten there. I hear they got good Caribbean food. So where's the best Caribbean food in New York? Is it in Queens or Harlem? What do y'all think? Oh, so they don't have the dollar slices at all? Somebody said rest in peace dollar slices. So everywhere has gone up, because I just thought it was, Manhattan. I'm like, damn, them slices used to be $1. So Brooklyn got okay, everybody's saying Brooklyn for Caribbean food. Because there's a lot of Jamaicans and stuff in Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn or Queens. Simpsons. And I want to find some vegan spots. I know there's this vegan restaurant. I've been following them for years and now I can't find them. I think I was following them on my old Instagram page. But I always said when I come to New York, I wanted to go by their spot. And they had opened up maybe like 2-3 years ago, but I don't know. Brooklyn. Look at all the Jamaicans. Talking about Brooklyn. New York is expensive. It's very expensive. I was at the courthouse, and I don't care. Y'all can judge me. I don't give a damn. So I'm trying to, I went to the cafeteria. I said, let me go ahead and give me a little Snicker bar and give me some hot cocoa, because it'd be cold in the courthouse. So I get my hot cocoa, and she brings up my, hot cocoa and Snicker bar. And she was like, $5. I said, for hot cocoa and a Snicker bar. I said, well, how much is a Snicker bar? $2.50. I said, yeah, you could cancel that one. I'm a Midwest girl. There's no way I'm going to pay. Y'all are not going to punk me into paying $2.50 for a Snicker bar. In the Midwest, they're $1. I was like, yeah, nah, take that off. Take that off my tab. I'll just stick to the hot cocoa. And even the hot cocoa was $2.50. I'm like, yeah, New York, y'all are tripping. I was like, absolutely not. Not on my watch. $2.50 for a Snicker bar? Not even the king size? Yeah, in New York, $2.50. At the Walmart by my home, they're literally like, I know they're $1 or less. I don't even think they're $1. Y'all don't have no Walmarts in New York. Cause I asked them, I was like, are there Walmarts like in Harlem or anything? And they just looked at me like, no. I don't think y'all have Walmarts. I know y'all got Targets. I've never seen. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody going to a Walmart in New York. Maybe in the like far out, but not in like the cities. Oh, there's a Walmart in Queens. Long Island has a Walmart. Somebody said there's no Walmarts in the 5 boroughs. So Long Island has a Walmart. No Walmart. So y'all don't even know. So I don't feel bad. Half of y'all saying there's no Walmart. And then 3 of y'all are saying that there's one in Long Island. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that I don't know. So you got to go to Long Island for Walmart. Okay. That's interesting. That's like my little like routine. Any city I stop off at and I get my rental car, the first place I go to Walmart. I go to Walmart, I get my waters, get my snacks, you know what I'm saying, before I go to my Airbnb. So I'm always so used to going to Walmart. So when Dennis picked me up, I was like, can you take me to Walmart? He was like, Walmart? He's like, this ain't Atlanta? I was like, oh. Okay, so Long Island seems to have it. I don't even know where Long Island is. I'm going to have to look on the map. Somebody asked me today, like, how to get to the Brooklyn Bridge to walk across it. And I was like, I'm not even from here. They were so sweet. It was like an Indian couple. They were so sweet. I was like, I wish I knew. I said, I think if you just keep walking straight, you'll run into some true New Yorkers and they'll be able to lead the way. But I was like, I think I'm gonna try that. I want to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. I've never walked across it. Is it safe, though? Because y'all got ships and shit crashing into the bridge. That Mexican ship. It looked like a damn... I'm like, what in the Pirates of the Caribbean is going on here? Remember that Mexican ship that ran into the bridge? Was that the Brooklyn Bridge that it ran into? Or am I tripping? Was that the wrong bridge? I'm like, why is the Pirates of the Caribbean ship running? Like, how did y'all get up here? Mexico is down south. I mean, rest in peace to those who lost their lives, but I didn't understand how they got up here. That was the Brooklyn Bridge, right? Or am I tripping? Okay, it's safe. Because I'm like, I don't want to be up there. And then here comes Pirates of the Caribbeans. I want to make it home safe. Okay, because I was nervous. Because I asked the Indian couple, I said, well, is this safe? Because y'all know that damn ship hit it. Okay. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to do my little walk-in and check it out when I get some time. Oh, we got some more super chats. Okay, let's see here. Tracy says, keep up the awesome work, T. Love you too, and thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat, sis. I appreciate you. The real Dana says, go to Arva Tatiana in NYC, of course, Harlem Soul Food, and Queens for Caribbean. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot that. So thank you, real Dana. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you for the info. Big Papa Ho sent $4.99 says, hey T, I want to give you a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my bestie Sid. We love you. Also, will we be getting another part on the Diddy deep dive? Did Sydney have all his family come in here? Shout out to Sydney and his wife. They're the ones I met at the courthouse. He was at the courthouse today too. He's such a vibe. He didn't get to come down to the other room, but Sydney, you didn't miss anything because I'll probably be in that room with you if I come back again. So I think the other room's a little bit more lit. But it's so funny because I feel like all of Sydney's peoples are in here. But yeah, shout out to him and his wife. And thank you for the super chat. Will I do another deep dive? Maybe after this. Maybe after this I will. Lauren L. said for the night, she said, you going to walk across the bridge to get a cheesecake making the band? Oh my gosh. Is that long of a walk? I might have to walk and vlog, child. Y'all going to have to keep me company then as I walk the Brooklyn Bridge. Oh my goodness. But I walk it because I like walking. Like I walk a lot. Like literally, that's my exercise. I literally walk like 2 hours a day, you know, just to stay in shape. So to me, walking is nothing. So like I'll walk like early in the morning before it gets too hot. And then when the sun goes down, I walk for like another hour, hour and a half. So it's a long walk. How long? Is it like at least an hour? I wouldn't mind. I would walk it. That's not a big deal to me. Hey T, go to Port Royale Restaurant and Bakery in Queens, Jamaica. I was there 2 weeks ago. Let me screenshot that. Thank you for that info. Tisha Renee sent 5. What are your thoughts on the Carter 6? I have not listened to the Carter 6. I've heard all of the controversy that Lil Wayne was dissing Kendrick Lamar and he's been getting roasted. But I've been really busy, so I have not gotten a chance to listen to it. But I need to. But I'm disappointed in Wayne. You know, but like I said, I knew he already had beef with Kendrick just for the fact that, you know, the whole stunt that he was doing with when Kendrick was going to perform at the Super Bowl, you know, all the shade that he was throwing and saying that it's in New Orleans, so he should be the one performing. So he been having issues with Kendrick. There's a lot of jealousy, you know, with Young Money, Cash Money. So, and I hope Kendrick doesn't respond. I don't think he will. You know, at this point, Kendrick doesn't care. He won the battle. He won the battle. Is Junior's Cheesecake still around? Speaking of walking for cheesecake, are they still around? Or did they get shut down? Because hell, y'all got me want some damn cheesecake now. Somebody said Wayne needs to stop. Junior's is open still? Okay. That's good to know. Okay, so it's still, maybe I will walk to Brooklyn and go get a cheesecake. I can't believe it. Puff just told us to walk to Brooklyn to go get a cheesecake. Darling Dillinger. I will never forget that episode. That was crazy. That was crazy. But if it's far, I'll just jump in an Uber. But that sounds good. But all right, y'all, I've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to log off, but I thank you guys so much for tuning in to this live stream and just enjoying, you know, my notes and everything, you know, that I talked about concerning the second day. Well, the first day of her cross-examination. They're bringing her back again tomorrow, so we shall see, you know, what will happen tomorrow. So definitely keep y'all posted here. Raquel says, did you hear about the YouTuber and his wife who were pew-pewed in Vegas while they were on live? I did hear about that. I don't know all the details. I heard about that today. Supposedly it had been a bunch of YouTube beefing and people accusing the shooter of being a pedophile and all this stuff. So I don't know the whole ins and outs. Maybe I can look it up real quick. But I did hear about that. I think they said TMZ was covering it. Okay. Ruined 2 families, friends of YouTuber killed over a feud. See? All these deadly feuds. That's why I don't go around beefing with mofos. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth none of that goofy shit. All right, let's watch this news thing. Because like I said, I've only heard of it. I don't know like the ins and outs. So let me... Hopefully we'll play. Let me share my screen real quick. Hopefully it plays though. Let me know if it doesn't.
And the shooting comes after months of an online feud between YouTubers Finney
Hold on.
Legend and the accused shooter Manuel Ruiz. Fox 5's Molly McBride joins us in the studio with a new look into what could have led up to last night's shooting. Molly.
Well, through one of Finney's friends, we're learning more about what could have led up to this shooting and what Finney and his wife Bubbly meant to the Vegas, Arizona YouTube community. A son, a father.
Oh, he's a good father. He takes care of his kids.
And a grandfather. Derek Ware tells me the Arizona-based YouTuber, Finney Legend, was just a big, friendly guy.
If something was wrong, he would just always check up on me.
He was a husband, too. Ware says Finney's wife, who went by Bubbly, lived up to her name, lighting up each room she entered.
She would have fun everywhere she went. People wanted to be around her.
He says he actually met Finney through the accused shooter, Manuel Ruiz's YouTube page, offering insight on the feud between the 2 YouTubers.
This was brewing. This brewed for 2 years.
Ware says it all started back in 2023 when Ruiz pepper sprayed Bubbly on Fremont Street.
I was saying, I'm just glad it was pepper spray and it wasn't bullets.
A grim foreshadowing of what was to come.
I said, I don't want to see you here in pain with bullets in you. So let's figure this out.
Ware says Finney chose to never get physical.
His wife said she was okay. So he was just like, okay, Let's handle this another way.
Instead, he fought back online.
He controls his emotions very well. That's what I liked about him the most.
Ware says Finney held a weekly live stream where people could speak freely about anything, including their grievances with Ruiz.
Manny was welcome to come on and defend himself. He kept it fair. It wasn't just a bash. It wasn't just let's talk about Manny, talk bad about Manny. It's just everybody's experience.
Ware says as Ruiz lost followers, Finney's online popularity grew, dethroning Ruiz from his position as king of the tight-knit Vegas, Arizona YouTube community. But Ware tells me he never thought Ruiz would escalate to this level of violence.
That's just sickening. He's sick. That's just, what do you get out of that? I don't get that. You just ruined two families.
Or that a jealousy-fueled feud would take away his two friends forever. Now, Ware says if he wasn't
That is so sad. Let me come back on the screen and say this before I go. Because in case some of y'all missed what I was saying at the beginning of the stream. So do you see how people will sit and egg shit on? A lot of people instigated this. Because again, people love mess. They love to start stuff. They love to see people beefing. Just like that dumbass troll that came in here trying to start beef with me and Armand. Why would you be on that? When nobody's beefing at the courthouse, everybody's cool, it's nothing but hugs and, good energy. A lot of these people are very low vibrational and demonic. And they love to keep things going. Because I'm sure the same people that were in Louise's chat egging shit up were also in the other couple's chat egging stuff up. And then when something tragic happens, not everybody's crying tattoo tears. And this is why I don't do the online beefing back and forth. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, there's room for everybody to eat. I don't care how many YouTubers there are in a space. There's only one Lovely T. There's only one Ruiz. There's only one Bubbly. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only one of us. So, again, you shouldn't be that threatened by anybody. You got a lot of people moving with ego, jealousy, insecurity. If your whole world is YouTube and subscriber numbers, you need to go outside and touch grass. Because it should never be that serious. People subscribe and unsubscribe to me every day. Because in this video, they might agree with me, so they're subscribing. Then the next video, fuck T, she don't piss me off. And then they're unsubscribing. That is life. I'm not about to sit here and cry tattoo tears because some people are unsubscribing. That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell you, don't write no dissertation talking about I'm leaving, bitch, just leave. We don't need no Dear John letter, just unsubscribe and go. Okay? So it's sad that it got to this point. But again, a lot of the internet, they instigate stuff like this. That's why I shut that down as soon as I started this stream. Y'all are not going to do that. Y'all are not going to sit here and try and start beef and act like, oh, it's jealousy and it's this and that. You're not going to plant those seeds. Not on my fucking watch. You're not doing that. Because again, now when things are real, not everybody's acting solemn, but I bet you them same people that were instigating, going from this person's stream to that person's stream, helping to fan the flames, they're quiet now. Now that shit done got real. So it's sad. It's sad. You're never going to see me online beefing with no other content creator because I don't give a fuck that much. It ain't that serious to me. They can beef with me all day. They'll never get a response from me. You're not going to take me off my throne. You're not going to take me out my square. And I don't have the energy to give to that. I get way too much positivity. I get way too much love where I'm not going to turn around and address a bunch of negative, Nancy's who are just mad and want to keep stuff going. So it's sad that it got to this point. You know what I'm saying? It's never this serious at all. So now you have two families' lives who have been ruined. And for what? Because of ego, YouTube numbers, and YouTube views. So I don't know. That's sad. That's really sad. But thank you for the super chat and thank you for letting me know about that story because I hadn't I had heard about it, but I didn't know like the whole. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know the backstory. So I didn't even know that they got. I knew they said 2 YouTubers got shot. I didn't know they got shot by another fucking YouTuber. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because it's been so much drama going on, you know, on the online, not just YouTube, hell, TikTok. Look at how these TikTok people beef all the time. There's been so much drama going on online, and a lot of this stuff is instigated by the fans. It's instigated by the people who are supposedly fans and who are watching. So it's sad over some bullshit. And I'm sure these folks have kids and family members, so it's sad. You know, rest in peace to them. 2 families ruined. And they said that the Vegas YouTube community is small. Imagine if they would have came together, you know what I'm saying? They could have built something powerful instead of moving with ego. But again, like I tell you guys, we are living, you know, in a spiritual battle right now. It's spiritual warfare. So you have to be careful. A lot of people are moving with the spirit of Jezebel, you know what I'm saying? With, you know, the spirit of Leviathan, narcissism, ego. We're in our last days. So, yeah, I'm not playing with folks out here. Any negativity, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. You come to my channel trying to start some shit, plant seeds, I rebuke you and I rebuke everything about you. Don't come to my channel trying to disrespect no other YouTuber. Don't come to my channel trying to disrespect me and pit me against no other YouTuber. I rebuke all that shit. So, yeah, that's sad. I feel bad. That's really sad because those are 2 families affected over what? YouTube, this platform is supposed to be a blessing. Black folks were never supposed to be able to eat and get money off of social media. But instead, we sit here and try and tear each other down and make it where this person can't eat and take care of their family. Why? There's unlimited amounts of ad space. It is never that serious. There's a young man at the courthouse I met today. And I asked him, I said, do you have a YouTube page? Are you a YouTuber? He said, no. He said, but he's gotten very inspired by meeting other YouTubers. And, you know, he has a real funny personality. He told me, I said, because you look familiar. He was like, yeah, people tell me I look like LeBron James. I said, we're not going to do that, okay? Because he ain't but 5'5". Talking about people tell me he look like LeBron James. But he was so sweet. But I told him, I said, you know, if you feel like you can do it, start a YouTube channel. You know, talk about the Diddy trial. You got a personality. You're funny. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to encourage people. You know what I'm saying? Because there's room for everybody. Him starting a YouTube channel ain't going to affect me. I done built my audience. I done put in work. I done put in work in these streets when people, before there was ever a check to have, I was on here speaking my truth and, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing. So I'm not threatened by anybody. You know, so again, it should be folks supporting each other and looking out for each other. But unfortunately, you have some of these, you know, demons who just like to start mess and stir up trouble. But, you know, she was blocked and deleted. So, you know, screw her. We good over here. We're not going to do that, Soup Bone, talking about free Diddy. We'll see what happens, you know. We'll see. Because I think they got like another 2 weeks. They got another 2 weeks left of court. So we'll see if he ends up free or if he ends up doing time. It's going to be interesting. Okay, here come the free Tory umbrella people. Okay, we see you, Ruth. Here come the free Tory Israelites. they heard free Diddy. They come running. Free Tory. Here go the umbrella. We knew y'all was coming. But all right, you guys, this has been a great stream. Let me go ahead and get up off of here. You guys have a good evening. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys. You know, if I end up going tomorrow, I'll bring y'all some more tea. So everybody have a good night. Bye, everyone.